Again, now the Water and Sanitation Department says it started talks with National Treasury to secure some 2.5 billion rand in funds. This money will be used to refurbish the Rooiwal wastewater treatment plant in Hammanskraal. The area is in the grip of a cholera outbreak that's killed 21 people in that area alone so far. Now let's get more reaction on this from water scientist Professor Anthony Turton. Prof, good afternoon. Welcome to today. Thanks for your time. It's good talking to you again this week, although what you are talking about is not good news at all. I mean, how do you respond as somebody who's involved in this, in the water sector of our country, when you hear that the City of Tshwane and the Minister of Water and Sanitation, whom you've met recently, are looking for 2.5 billion rand to fix Rooiwal?
You know, I really want to support the Minister in his work. I really do. I honestly want to support him. However, we keep repeating the exact same mistakes that we do every single time. So I go back to the Mfuleni crisis. In the Mfuleni crisis, they spent 1 billion rand on trying to fix the wastewater works. 1 billion rand was spent. Then they couldn't fix it. Then they brought in the SANDF to fix it. And then the SANDF reached out to me, and I was part of a team to go and look at it and advise them. And another 1 billion rand went by. So 2 billion rand was spent on that. Eventually, the SANDF was unable to fix it. And so now a 3rd billion rand has been allocated to Mfuleni, and they still haven't fixed it. Why? Because they've not done a root cause analysis. And if you don't know what it is that you're trying to fix, just another 1 billion rand is not going to take you any closer to what is being fixed.
Are you saying, Prof, let me come in. Are you saying the Minister and the City of Tshwane should be rather spending their time and effort in the short term trying to get to the root cause of Rooiwal's wastewater treatment plant's problems?
Yes, I was called in as a specialist in 2015 to give an opinion on Rooiwal. So 2015, I got involved in Rooiwal. I was given information going back to 2001 on the crisis at Rooiwal. And in 2015, there was a litigation being considered by private individuals. They were going to sue the City of Tshwane. That's why they brought me in. So we can say with a high level of confidence, since 2001, the Rooiwal wastewater treatment works has been in crisis. There's a long forensic paper trail of the crisis there. So I've heard that subsequent to that, something like 300 million rand was allocated to fix up something. What do they fix up? Well, they've never done a root cause analysis. So you can throw millions and millions of rand at something and you don't know what you're fixing. So you're just throwing money at a problem, but you don't know what the problem is. This is simply unacceptable. This is why people are now dying.
300 million rand spent already to fix something that was never fixed. People have died, as you say. Now they are looking for 2.5 billion rand from National Treasury. Unless they know the root cause, it's not going to help us. That's the point you're making, Prof. Do you have an idea where does the problem lie?
Well, my understanding from the work I did at Rooiwal was that the press, the dewatering machinery for the sludge at Rooiwal had failed, and because of that they were unable to dispose of their sludge, so they were simply disposing that sludge into a wetland next to a river. And we got photographic evidence of that. We got all kinds of forensic evidence for that. So you now had a buildup of thousands and thousands of tons of sewage sludge on a wetland, basically leaching out into a river. And this week I've been working with some forensic people in that area, and they've been very busy documenting, you know, where the sites are, where the people are that have died, etc., and making a causal connection to what's happening in Hammanskraal now and that deposition of sludge in the Rooiwal case. So, you know, this is quite simple. In any engineering disaster, where there's an engineering disaster involved, the first thing you always do is a root cause analysis, and that tells the decision makers what the exact problem is that they need to fix, so that they can then focus on fixing that problem. Is it, for example, a breakdown of electricity supply? Then you fix the electricity. Is it a breakdown of a pump? Then you fix the pump. but we don't have a root cause analysis. So just another R1 billion, and we still won't fix the problem. I guarantee you, but that R1 billion, I can guarantee you, will find its way into connected contractors' pockets. And this is simply unacceptable, because in this case, we have the loss of human life. So here we actually have a forensically defendable case that could go to a court of law, where the loss of human life can actually be attributed to malfeasance and maladministration.
Not could go to court. Not could go to court. It's on the way to court. I interviewed a lawyer from Hammanskraal yesterday, Mr. Kwakwa. He came into the studio representing the residents. They are planning a two-pronged legal court battle. It's a civil case on the one hand, but they are also going for criminal charges at the same time. So it's going to be very interesting few months. Now, you sound disappointed. You sound a little bit like bewildered by why throw another. They're looking for 2.5 billion rand this time. They have spent 300 million rand a few years ago, and the problem of Rooiwal has not been fixed. I just want your take, because you as a key stakeholder in this matter, you've met with the minister. You said you would like to support his efforts. You are being consulted. You're giving advice and stuff like that. Root cause analysis would be the priority number one today. I just want you to repeat that.
Yes, you're right. I want to support the minister. I have given my public support to the minister. We need to support the entire Department of Water and Sanitation at the moment. They are in crisis, so we mustn't go and throw additional sticks and stones at them right now, because then more people are going to die. But let's, instead of spending 2.5 billion rand on something we don't know what's broken, let's spend 50,000, 100,000 rand. Let's make it a million rand. Let's spend that on a root cause analysis that maps out what actually failed, that caused something else to happen, that then caused something else to happen, which now resulted in where we are today. That root cause analysis will save us 2.5 billion rand. It cost us R1 million maybe, and we will then know what it is that we're dealing with. This is how complex problems are solved when engineering systems fail. This is an internationally accepted methodology. This is not my methodology. This is how the world operates, not how we operate in South Africa.
Can you pick up the phone and speak to the minister and tell him, don't look for 2.5 billion rand. Just look for R1 million rand. Let's do root cause analysis.
Look, I would like to do that. I really would like to do that. But unfortunately, the situation in South Africa has now become such that the chaos that we have is feeding these syndicates. It's feeding this machine. Where they just simply use a crisis like this to gain access to the fiscus, to basically loot the fiscus. This is looting taking place. We've got forensic evidence going back to 2001. This crisis started in 2001 at Rooiwal. So there's a complete paper trail, a criminal prosecution, a paper trail going back to 2001, where certain tender procedures were bypassed back then. And it was the bypassing of those tender procedures that then resulted in something else and something else and something else. And now today we've got dead people. So no, we've got to draw a line under this, and maybe, just maybe, this is the case now. Just maybe the good thing that can come out of this human tragedy just might be the fact that we can halt the absolute abuse of taxpayers' money and start getting value for that money for the first time.
Yeah, and provide people with safe and clean drinking water. Thank you very much, Professor Anthony Turton, just giving his views that you can hear the anger in his voice. He's a water expert.